Okay, now.
All right, now we'll call to order
Call
again at 6, whatever it is now, 3:33. And so roll call, the library board is here. And you're gonna lose your title now, Peter. And library director Kimberly and Peter Stevenson, building consultant. We'll go more professional. Not
Building consultant now.
Yeah.
Construction consultant.
construction consultant / brewer. You can put brewer if you want. All right, anything else? Mainly our agenda, well, only at this point, our agenda is to review this contract, but I think we have just a quick update on the financial aspect. So that will add, and then if there's anything else to add that folks have. Okay. Public comment. Is any public here want to make a public comment? Seeing none. No public comments. So on to this very fascinating and fun to read and not at all too long contract that we got that many folks are brave enough to print out. I see. I thought about it, but I was like, I can't do it. So Peter, maybe you could just give us the rundown and then we can ask questions. I don't know what the best way is.
So I'm gonna go, what I did is I went through and there are things that are typos, there are things that I think need to be added. There's clarification to your question about the 6% fee, which is a typo.
Oh, that's very good.
Because if you went to the 11-page estimate and you added some things there and multiplied by 0.0422, comes out to what their fee is.
Okay,
Oh, so
comes out to the 4 point. Yeah.
okay.
So, and it'll get like the one that we actually sign all.
Well,
Okay.
I've inserted it in another place.
Okay.
Well, I'm not inserted, I've changed it from the 6% to 0.422%.
Okay.
Okay.
Cleared with them.
Well, we're gonna go through, because I don't know if any of you have any comments or
Right.
corrections.
So after tonight, you'll go
Go
back
ahead.
to them then?
I'll go back to them
Great.
and
Perfect.
see what they have to say. So if you want to, but before I do this, just a little update on the septic.
Okay.
He didn't come because he had Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And he was pretty sick, I guess. So last Thursday or Friday, they came and they did test pits. So they hit ledge in one of them, but it was on the Grace Ranch property. And the rest of them were fine. There were a couple of them that he left open. He only went down about this much, but material fine and to him too. He was happy with what he found. But he wanted to bring his engineer who actually takes the information and does the design. And so he was coming down yesterday. I haven't had anything more, but so there was a $500 bill with the excavator. It was in it. Upon completion of this work, they did about 8 test pits, so I had to cut a few trees down. So that's that part of it. Then I got a email from Stephanie at Fire Safety, and she's in the process of reviewing the drawings for the permit. She had some questions about the use of the building downstairs and what it was gonna be and activities and what the stove was gonna be. And so I basically said that it's gonna be probably for mostly small groups and mostly children in there for art type of functions or other little functions. I said there may be other groups that come in there. She also wanted to know if it was gonna be rented out, and I didn't say one thing or another about that. I said maybe, but I said there's a possibility that it could get rented out for birthday party type things, for anniversary celebrations and things like that. I said the stove was gonna be electric, and I said we previously had, I couldn't remember the guy's name. I think it was Stephen from Fire Safety that came in preliminarily and looked at it and said that we could cook, but definitely no frying. And I said the emphasis will be on no frying. there could be cooking classes in the future there, but they would be small groups. And. That we know that,
Deep class,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
and we know that we need a residential or light commercial rental system in the hood, so. I haven't heard anything back. So.
Thank you.
So. Go through this 102-page document, 22 pages. So. On. The AIA document A-133, the 2019 version. The owner, they've got 10 Park Avenue, which is what their contract was with, for the town
Right.
office.
I missed that.
That's why I'm looking
It's okay, I found some things, we'll see if you found nothing.
So they've got the. And on page 3, same document, they've got. Construction commencement date, which they've left. Blank, substantial completion date or dates, that's blank, but it's addressed later on
Yeah.
in the contract. So down in 1.1.8, the owner identifies the following representative in accordance with section 4.2, so I don't know if you want me to be that, if you want Glenn to be it. And then they're also asking for an alternate, so. You need to know that.
So it seems like it's you.
I think it can be, I think, yeah, I think,
Do you wanna be the main person or the secondary person?
Definitely.
rock, paper, scissors. Peter can be main,
Okay.
Glenn can be second,
Yeah.
Gary.
Mm.
That works.
I don't want to write on it. Okay. Let's see what it says. Oh, okay.
We can look at this one, Glenn, if that's easier for you.
So, so Glenn, what's your address?
740 Coy Hill Road.
Is that a motion thing to do for that?
I think we'll just make these adjustments and then we can like make a motion to
Motion.
approve the contract
Got
with,
it.
you
Yep.
know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think you need to necessarily track it in that, in the minutes.
Okay.
I know.
It seemed to me,
And a lot of it,
was there stuff just left in that's more template stuff?
Yeah, no,
that-
some things I was like.
Like where it was like,
nothing
oh,
filled in.
list, well, where it was saying like, list, oh, the so-and-so's name and address should be here. I'm like, I think that's just for the person putting it together. It probably should have come out and,
really don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never seen that. Like, that just seems like the template stuff that you would take out that you fill it in. Like the identify special characteristics or the needs of the project, not provide elsewhere, like, under.
All right, so I'm now on page 10,
Yes, exactly.
so. That's where it says Naylor and Breeze Construction Man in 6.1.2. Naylor and Breeze Construction Management fee will be 6%, so I've changed that to 4.22. And then in the next article, 6.1.3, Naylor and Breeze fee and additive change orders will be also 4.22.
yeah,
And then on 6.1.5, rental rates for the construction managers, equipment shall be at the current Naylor and Green equipment rates, and I just said, see exhibit B, there's an exhibit B in the back that has those rates. And then I'm on page 11. In Article 7.1.3, costs shall be at the current Naylor and Green labor and equipment rates, and I said, see, exhibit A and I think B should be in there too, because it refers to the labor. On page 16 now in retainage. In 11.1.8.1. I put 10% in there, which is a normal rate.
Insert a percent. That's it. Okay. What is a retainage?
When they present the bill, they have a billing amount. That's it, and then they say less the retainage, so it's, you're only paying 90% of what they bill for each item in the bill, so that retainage fund accrues and is paid at the end of the project. So it's like a insurance policy for the owner.
Okay, all right.
And it's covered later on and then they get to retain it. A lot of times when you get to, and it's on in here, but a lot of times when you get to 50% of completed value of the project, owners will reduce the retainage to 5%, but I just left it at 10. And they did 10 at the town office.
Just to clarify, Peter, does that mean when they send a bill for $100, we only have to pay 90, or they'll only bill us 90? They'll bill
Their
us.
billing will,
Full.
they're billing, but then there's a column that's got retainage in
And
it
then
for
we-
each item.
Okay,
So for each $100, you're only paying them.
okay, because I'm just thinking for reimbursement, like if Bill says something no different than we paid, I don't know.
Would there,
It'll all be on
It
there.
matches up.
Okay.
would their billing, update that retainage, like the overall accrual of that,
Yeah.
or is that just a
Yeah.
website that we,
No,
they'll show us
It'll
each time?
show it every month,
Okay.
showing every month. And on the title page, there's actually they'll show you, what the current billing amount is, the amount paid to date,
Okay.
less retainage, and
Okay,
so
so it's all.
it'll be a running total every month.
Okay.
I like the idea of the insurance, but in terms of like, our reimbursement, in lots of ways, it makes sense to pay the full amount to just keep this in case things go awry, you know? I
Get it
mean,
out the door.
yeah,
You haven't got, you're not gonna have any bond or anything, so I think and I hear what you're saying, but you're wise to keep that
okay,
in reserve.
okay.
I mean, it's standard practice.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. We just have this funky, you know. Correct. Right, but it's fine. My hope is that since it hasn't gone away, it won't go away. So.
All right, now I'm into section 2. And it's AIA document 201 and it's 2017 versions of general conditions for the contract for construction. They, on the front page 1, they had the address wrong.
Oh,
Yes. Did you check the, all of these to make sure that they were right?
Yeah, I did this. It's all boilerplate anyway.
Yeah. Really, thank you for going through this document.
Right,
So,
oh gosh, I got
yeah.
lost so quickly.
Yeah. You're trying to sync with him? Yeah, but I'm not. I've lost.
No, I'm up to page 20.
What? So close.
Because I'm too silent.
Babe.
Yeah, are you listening to the rustle of his papers? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it's, I'm just doing it by gut. You actually see it as far? Oh, it's twisty.
Have you done that to a piece of paper yet?
It's it's good for my computer.
And-
Laptop. Like that.
And part of this boilerplate stuff, they talk about insurance and bonds
Oh,
and
right.
so we're gonna have to, I talked to her, but or said something to her, but and to everybody at the
Right,
last meeting.
figure that out.
That we're gonna have to have builder's risk policy, which Naylor and Green and their subcontractors and the named insured, but. On the town office, we actually wound up getting it from their. Insurance carrier, because the League of Cities and Towns didn't wanna do it, so.
What, do you know what the, basic or estimated cost of that would be? And that would be something that would probably be on our bill. I mean, that we would.
No, I think it's just, if they did it, would just be in their
Okay.
cost.
No,
Oh,
they'll,
okay.
no,
Yeah.
they'll, we'll get a quote, they'll do a change order for it. And
Yeah,
Okay. So just for the record, I did have insurance down here. It's one of the things I was questioning. Thank you.
good catch.
On section 3.
On to three.
Well,
Now it's
what-
like, I just
what's
thinking about
section
it.
three? Or.
It hasn't got a number.
It's
I
just
figured
big.
right.
Three,
But-
three.
Oh, yeah, yes. Got it.
So on the first, this is AIA document A 133, it's 2019 version. They got the address wrong on the front page again, at least they're consistent. And then, the next page on A 1.1.2, it says itemized statement of guaranteed maximum, price, and there was nothing in there. So I said the guaranteed maximum price is 1,550,401. See exhibits A 3.1.3, 3.1.5, 3.1.7, which is stuff at the end.
Okay.
And if you go down. Article A 2.1. Date of commencement and substantial completion,
Mhm.
and then they've checked the line, it says fall 2025. Specific, this is for the date of commencement, specific date to be determined. And then substantial completion is not later than 182 calendar days from the date of commencement of work, which is 6 months.
That seems good, yeah.
So, and this last page where Herb's gonna sign,
Mhm.
which is page 4. And it's actually also on page 3, articles. 3.1.3, which is a list of the drawings,
Mhm.
and then they've got 3.1.5, which is allowances. And then they've got 3.1.7, which is qualifications and RFIs from the architect, which is requests for information. And then the actual estimate, and then there's a SOV, which is a summary of the value of the work. So, and those are all in the appendix in the back. Yeah. So, on number 4. Insurance and bonds, and the address is wrong again. They've provided certificates of insurance. And the coverages are what they're supposed to be. And then we get to exhibit A, which is their labor rates. Which is referenced earlier. And I noted that. It's usually exhibit B's or equipment rates, and I noted that.
Okay, view, you know what I'm saying?
Here's no page number.
It's just right after.
That was exhibit A.
Yeah.
I got it.
Going into it.
Yeah.
So I'm on exhibit C now. And. The project information, they got 8 Park Avenue, so it's 49 West Street they put in.
And then I had a question, which I do not see highlighted on your piece of paper. It says that they're gonna use our electricity that we're paying for, but that they have put into the contract the cost of the heating, but the heating is also electric, so I wondered how that was gonna be managed.
I can talk to them about that. I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
they may use. They may use something else for temporary heat.
Okay.
And one of the things is that with the construction going on, there's dust and stuff, you're better off not to use the new equipment. So
Okay, so that was just a question.
Is that the same thing with the dehumidifiers then? Just that having to use theirs instead of, we've got dehumidifiers.
We have the
Yeah,
one.
just one,
Cause it's a $20 a
If you-
day and 45 a day for their dehumidifiers. More,
yeah, cheaper to use ours.
so then.
It may or may not be turned on during the construction.
Mhm.
I mean, if they're starting in the fall, with humidity's probably down quite a bit, so you may not need it anyway.
So at some point we'd want to pull that out.
Yeah, probably.
My-
Before they get started.
Right, my question is the two things that are on rollers in there, the piano and the big piece of furniture,
Yeah,
I mean. Can they just continue to move those around?
yeah, probably, and we won't be wild about it.
Yeah, and all the heating units that are in there, where do those get moved? That's a discussion for later, I
Well,
suppose.
they're GSKs and they'll get GSK to move them if they need to. There's nothing we gotta worry about.
Great, I just jumped to my brain.
And then on the second page of. The project information, they got the North Link trim repair.
Yeah. On the soil bearing conditions for concrete work have been assumed to be adequate, not verified by NMB. This would be the responsibility of the owner. What does that mean?
Well, normally. In a new project, you'd have an engineer come in and they would test the soils, they do test pits, and then they take analysis of what's there. And say, yes, here, the bearing capacity for the, this soil is 2,000 pounds or 2,500 pounds or 3,000 pounds per square foot. This hasn't been done, and then you already got a foundation in place and you got a slab in place, so.
Right. So
And then,
I just wanted
you
to
know,
know what
Yeah.
the response, as owner, what our responsibility was.
I'll check with Jeff, but I mean, he's talked to the structural engineer. And they've seen drawings, and I think they've actually, just one of them visited the site or seen photographs, so. I don't think it's a problem.
Can I chime in here a little bit? They're going to cut out concrete to pour footings
Right.
for the posts.
Right.
There is a spring underneath the slab that used to feed the building with water. Is that what that square is? That,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What is the potential that I mean, there is a potential that the moisture content underneath the slab could be fairly high because of that spring and no curtain drains. So does that play into that?
Well, first off, I mean, they're gonna excavate all around the foundation and put footing drains in with the, you know, which I think will help alleviate some of that problem. I'll check with Jeff, and he can check back with his engineers. I'm not gonna answer that question.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. I'll find out.
okay.
They have to cut a hole in the current floor to put more concrete to hold the,
Yeah, wherever the
Wherever the posts are.
columns are gonna go, I've forgotten the size, they're probably. I think they're 4x4 and about a foot thick, and they've got rebar and stuff in them, and those are specifically to handle the load from coming, the floor load coming down from the beams.
Good job.
But I'll check.
Can I ask, to Mark, just make sure that I understand, RK Miles did come out to. Is that true? They've been,
Yeah, they came
Okay.
out and they measured, and they put a price in on the windows, as did 3 or 4 other
okay,
people.
great.
But they're gonna come out
Again,
again, once Naylor brings on site, because they may have to peel some trim off on some of the windows, especially the ones upstairs, the big ones.
and this electrical, this just means that they back the whole thing out, but there'll need to be. They may need to put in, back in some things so that we are ready to add a generator when we're ready.
They're gonna put a pad in for a generator. The cost of the generator, which you're probably gave us the price, which was 98,000 something, that's been deducted from.
Right. Okay,
And as the thing progresses, if Eric has some suggestions, and Naylor and Bree may have some suggestions. They're also carrying in this, their estimate, there's a $10,000 contingency in above the normal contingency. So there's, the normal one was 70 something thousand, so there's really $80,000 of contingency in there, so.
okay.
So exhibit D is the estimate. I've been through that, I don't have any problems with it. Exhibit E was their kind of summary of values that ties back to the estimate. So F was the certificates of insurance, they got the towns right, they got mine wrong. And they reference this address for the library, but I mean, I think that's all right, because where you presently
Right,
located.
I was thinking that too,
So that's my 2 cents.
but I did see you moved in. Trying out the Airbnb.
Yeah, without permission.
Water.
I've got a list later on of things I'd like to see done.
Yeah.
list of complaints for the landlord.
Yeah,
So, can you just review for me real quick where you put my name and address, on what page that is?
Yeah. I gotta find it.
here it is, page
It's in the file.
3. It's 1.1.8.
But it references section 4.2 if you want to look at that as well.
No, it's 1.1.9.
There's 1.1.1.
Yeah, well, because we wrote it. Yeah.
Alright.
Person entities in addition to the owners, representatives were required to review the construction manager's minutes. The comments are as follows, you first.
That's really, you can look at them, but it's really Jeff's job. In the paragraph below that, I didn't comment on this, but the owner shall retain the following consultants and contractors And Jeff's already listed, he's listed, but his consultants are listed on his drawings.
Right.
Alrighty. So that is it. Any other questions that people have?
I just was gonna go on the record to say that the estimate number is below our remaining amounts of grant money,
So. you should
about
tell 'em-
$1,000.
So you should tell them to bill us more.
And so just as I put in our email, like what's not included is the kitchen cupboards and countertops and appliances, which the appliances weren't rentable anyway, but
And the
And the-
Carolina.
and the paving and the Carillon. And the septic, which we don't know yet the cost of.
And no kitchen cabinets also means no checkout area.
Right,
because
so
those are
so we'll
kitchen
need
cabinets.
to. If it becomes clear that we're really not gonna be able to do the cabinet piece, we'll probably have to figure out how to break out those cabinets,
Yeah.
because those cabinets.
Those are broken out.
You were gonna work on that,
Yeah, those are broken.
so that is so we know that was it, but that's definitely, that has to happen.
Yeah.
Like, we can go without kitchen cabinets, but that
Yeah, the
area needs to
library,
have those
yeah.
cabinets. Yeah, so I guess our plan is, if we are in agreement with those changes. That we would approve that, and then we'll send it off to the select board for their official signature and approval. Next Thursday. So. Does anyone want to make a motion to that effect?
Was there anything else from anyone else on this? Or-
Or yeah, did anybody else have any other questions or?
You have to make a motion and then you have further discussion.
Oh, right, we need a motion first, thank you. Who wants to?
You do it, it's still your birthday. We're the
Spend it.
cocktail.
I move
Birthday
that
month.
we set this contract proposal for the yellow green to illustrate this.
Move ahead with the work.
Yeah, I think just do the work. As amended, as edited.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I will second that.
Nice.
Not my birthday.
No cupcakes this time. All right, so now other discussion, there was something? Someone know? No?
No, the secretary just wanted to make
We just
sure.
wanted to make sure we did it correctly, thank you. All right, so if there's no other questions or comments or anything else, we can vote, all in favor?
All right.
Hi. I saw a hand, all in favor, yes,
Yay.
any nay? No nays, oh, yay, write it, Sean. Oh, gosh, okay, what else? Yeah, so we'll take it to select board, Gary, the town lawyer, is reviewing it right now, so presumably he will have that done, hopefully by their meeting on Thursday, and again, if he sees anything that needs to be changed that changes a lot, then we would look
Looking
again.
at Peter's edits prior to that, because I mean, the 4.22 is a significant.
Yeah. Well, I think as long as everybody has the same, and I don't know that Gary knows that the previous iteration was 4 points, so he wouldn't know that that was a mistake. We only know that because their proposal said 4.22, which Gary never
Right,
saw.
I guess, you
So
know,
he
if
would-
our lawyer is looking at something, they might
Yeah.
not have the right numbers.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, so we can just make sure he's aware of that. Every time we send something to him, though, he charges.
On the town office, he came up with something, but that was,
Yeah.
my recollection was kind of outlandish.
He's just trying to.
Yeah.
Prove his worth. Whoops.
Anyway, yeah, so he will have his feedback, if any, hopefully by Thursday. And then the select board will be able to sign off on it. And then we will get it back to Nail and Breen, and they can start working on telling us when they can start and
And when I
all the
talk
other
with them,
stuff.
I'll talk to them about this, getting the schedule out, I just, we
Yeah.
should be able to do that now.
The
right
cash
now.
flow.
Oh,
Okay.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're waiting for Stephen. No, this was actually done. Oh, yeah.
So then, the other thing that sort of leads into the financials update is that during the project, I think we talked about this at our last meeting, we're gonna need more cash flow to be able to pay those larger bills.
Okay.
Because we may have to have paid two, because the bills will come every month or whatever, and we need to pay them within a certain period of time. So I was talking with Heritage where our accounts are, but they reviewed all our documentation and felt like they did not wanna offer us any kind of debt instrument. But Jenny and Kimberly were able to talk with the folks at the M&T Bank, which is where the town at large does their banking, and that guy said he felt like it was something they could do.
Mhm.
So he's gonna get back to us about the specifics around rate and exactly how all that can work. And then the select board also would have to sign off on that when we're ready to sort of like do that, but depending on when they can start, then we can get that money settled. So we have a plan there. It seems like that's gonna work.
Yeah, I can just add that
Yeah.
he, from the time that we say we wanna do it, it's like a 3 or 4 week turnaround to get it
Mhm.
through.
Okay.
It does have to go to their underwriting department, but his title is, like municipal. He's a VP and he does all the municipal banking and doing a whatever device like this is very common.
Okay.
So he thought it was great. He could see all the money, that's in the grants and it'll be a 12-month loan but it's a line of credit, so we only borrow what we need. The rate will be, if I understand it, it's however they factor the rate, but because we're a municipality, it comes down. Like we only pay 80%, like, I don't know, like if the rate were 10, it would be 8. I'm just doing the math.
What was the name of the device?
It's a line of credit.
Mhm.
That would be for the whole 1.6, whatever we have.
Oh, that's the amount that it would be for. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
interest is something we also haven't budgeted for.
right. And one of the questions was whether, uh, well, there was some question before when we were talking about interest about whether we would ask the friends to pick it up because we don't. I don't remember why, or the town.
The town, because like the taxpayers can't pay.
Yeah.
On a loan or that they didn't vote for, so the
Seems
interest
very
kind
fair.
of is associated in that realm, I think was the reason behind it.
Okay,
But again, we have, as far as I assume this is the same, we only pay the interest on the amount we actually take out.
Exactly.
For
Right.
the period we take it
Right.
out, so in theory, we may take out $200,000 for 3 weeks or
Right.
something, so we won't have long periods of time where, and then we'll put it, well, we'll put it back in there, so I think the interest probably could be not negligible, but not,
right,
it's not huge
Right.
chunks of money, but I think, yeah, we do, I think we had talked about potentially using, I think we just wanna document that we use the Friends, because
I
the
think
Friends have
that's-
put money into our account already,
Right.
and we just use that money
right,
to
and
pay
not-
the interest.
right,
So that it's clear on paper
makes
that it
sense.
wasn't
Right.
from other.
right.
But
And
yeah,
it's
I
not
think
a
that
grant reimbursable.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, right.
so we definitely wanna make sure that's clear in our bookkeeping, but yeah, it's something to be thinking about. And then where would that live? It would live at M&T, so then
So what he said
the
was,
logistics of that,
the
did you
legit,
talk about that?
yes, which is that someone, probably me, would be designated to say, we need money, and I call them up, they move it into our
Oh,
Heritage account, and then I write a check.
wow.
And then when I don't, we have a chunk of money in Heritage that we want to put back, I just deposit it against the.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Is there a delay
I don't think, I don't know,
from
but
from one day to?
I did not ask that, I had assumed. If there is, I would
Like
assume
3
it's-
days.
Yeah, 3 days, just at the most, so,
I'm making that up, but I
But-
can't imagine it would be much.
yeah.
I mean, we
imagine it.
move things so quickly these days.
Okay, so I was just worried, I was not worried, but I was like, oh, someone's have to write a check and then signature, and so it's good to the bank, and then they can do all that, they've got,
Yeah, it all happens, and then we would just pay bills the way.
as we do, okay.
It all just happens. I mean, this is something that can be done online, so it actually just happens, like.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
I just was told that I would alert them,
Mhm.
and I don't know what the mechanism is for the alerting.
Yeah, but we may want checks for record keeping purposes for some things.
He-
Not necessarily for paying back that loan, yes, probably.
Well, we wouldn't, the line of credit doesn't come with checks,
Oh, well then,
is what he said. It's not usually how it's done.
that's not how it's done.
Just basically,
So-
it's just an accounting.
But we don't need to account for that for the grant, right? The deposit from a line of credit, that doesn't matter.
No, but
It's
we
all the
would
other-
have all that accounted,
Yeah.
because we'll
Yeah.
eventually be audited, and we need to
Yes.
show that we kept track of everything.
Right, but we wouldn't need a check for
No,
grant reimbursement purposes for that piece of it. Okay,
But we could show the deposit, and then
Mhm.
we could show the check that paid it back.
So is the line of credit for the whole. So why are you doing that?
Well. He says. Well, I mean, I actually think we should do it for minus the 113 that we've spent, but he said. You might as well do the whole amount, because you aren't getting interest. On anything that you don't actually use, you just have the capacity. To
do 1.6.
do 1.6 because of your grant.
because
But-
that's what the grant is.
Your question is why do it at all?
No,
Why
Okay.
do it for that?
because,
Okay.
because. Once you get the, cash flow projection,
Mhm.
it's gonna vary every month,
Right.
but you could. I mean, you could take the highest month and add 100,000, 150,000 to it, and have your line of credit for that.
Right.
Right,
Like,
Right,
we don't
except-
get a 1.6 million, we could probably do a 400,000 to be fine, like that
Right.
probably, we
Right.
wouldn't need
But-
that, even that much, but 1.6, like, whoa.
right, so I mean, we may wanna look at that when we see
I mean,
the
you can-
documentation, but.
Yeah, when you get it, you could ask them.
Yeah,
But his. Reasoning today was if. If you decide you need 500,000 and then you actually need $510, you need to go and like reapply to get the 10.
You know,
So you might as well just put it in the big number and then only use
Mm,
the what you actually need.
it might
Does it
be,
become tempting
yeah,
Yeah, in the
but
end.
yeah, but also, as far as the select board, I could see a number like that being a bit of like a, what?
Okay, well, we'll look
Yeah,
at the cash
but-
flow. I mean, and cash flow was one of the things they wanted to
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Because they would normally look at like our financials, but our $50,000 budget isn't gonna help them know anything. And even
Yeah.
the town, they can look at on the website, because it
Right.
has the town report.
Yeah.
But we mentioned the nail and green
Mhm.
piece, and that would help them see what we're
Yeah.
actually asking for.
I imagine if they feel like 1.6 was doable, then I imagine that if we said, actually, we're just gonna do 5, they probably wouldn't buy.
No, they wouldn't, it's not.
So the point is, we can get the money, which was.
Yes,
what I
well,
was presumably,
presumably, like it has to go through their
their whole
process.
process, yeah,
And that, he didn't say you absolutely have it, but
yes,
the,
but he also didn't say, it doesn't seem like something we wanna do at this time.
right, no, he got really excited about the project.
Oh, great,
Yeah, he's.
awesome.
Mhm.
All right, so that was the piece of the financial update. And we will still have our regular meeting at the end of the month, talk about whatever there is to talk about at that point. But was there anything else for this moment right here?
Art carnival on Saturday,
Art
it's gonna
carnival
be
on
so
Saturday.
fun,
Well, it's supposed to be
for
nice.
all ages,
Yeah.
including flower pounding.
Way to
It's
get out
so
your
funny.
energy.
I like all of that. And, ordinary day-to-day runnings of the library are just, yeah, there's art carnival, or there's
We're
like,
still doing stuff.
what are you
here.
guys still?
Yeah, it'll be really nice when we don't only
Don't
talk about the
Have
building.
to do
Yeah.
just the building.
I'm actually looking forward to the strategic planning, because that's
Yes.
really about
Yeah.
how the library operates, and I think
Yes.
it'll be much more interesting.
Mhm. All right, well, if there's no other things to discuss right in this moment, I think we are good.
Great. Exciting.
All right, thank you, Bree. Have a good rest of your evening.
Good to see you.
So wait, the move to.
Oh, yes, I'm moving to exit the meeting at 7:20.
Also,
So adjourn. Right.
Ah.
What? A second. Right, second, third. All in favor, yay.
Okay,
Now you
bye,
can stop.
Bree.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.